YouTube, how's it going? Rob, Chicken Ranch Homestead, part 3 of 3 about you want to do chickens. Something like that. Whatever. But hey, we're going to go over some things that I've missed on the other 2 and talk about some little odds and ends that you need to know or you should take into consideration. So we're going to start out pretty quick and easy. Dust bathing. It's a real simple task for chickens. That's what keeps insects off of them. Like mites, other insects, keeps them clean. So there's certain things that you need to take into consideration with dust baths. And one is how to provide them a dust bath. Well, one way is to buy a concrete mixing tray. I'll put one right there in a picture. So yeah, that tray will give them a chance to do a dust bath in a controlled environment, because any environment you leave open, they will take advantage of. And I'm going to show you a couple they do here at the house. Please forgive my garden box, but this actually had some cucumbers and gourds growing in it. Well, not really, but you can see what they will do. They will dig up everything and dust bath in here. They also do eat your plants. So one thing to keep in consideration is anything is open game for chickens, especially if you're free range. If you're not free ranging and you're keeping them caged or in certain poultry netting or wherever, that's where those concrete things come into a big consideration. And you can put the DE in with them and some nice light clay type dirt. That's what's pretty much here in this box. But if they're free ranging, what they'll do is they will find your mulch beds or mulch around your house, and they will scrape all that away looking for bugs and insects. Then they'll create dirt, and then they will create a hole for dust bathing. So the best thing to do if you are free ranging is provide them an area to dust bath. Am I really worried about this garden box? No, I put in way late. I made the own mistake of removing the grate around it, and I'm like, no, they'll be fine. They did, because they got an area up by the actual house they have dug up around an old stump, and they dust bath in there all the time, so I wasn't too worried. Turkey's pecking at me. Oh, now you're done. So that's something to keep in consideration, is dust baths. So let's see what else we can find. Like I said, they'll eat your plants, they'll eat your garden if you're not fenced them off. Yes, that is a turkey. Yes, it's eating it. Not a chicken, but chickens will do the exact same thing. Okay, here's another great thing they're great at. They know that inside that door is where all the feed is. They will wait by there, if you're free ranging, for a person to go in there and bring out feed. Not only that, they love to poop all over your cement. Roosters. Remember, they're alarm clocks. They run on sunlight. When you don't want to be woken up at 5 in the morning and the sun's coming out at 5 in the morning, they're crowing. So you got to keep in mind, a rooster is an alarm clock for when you don't want to wake up. But let's find a positive in a rooster. What is a rooster positive about? One thing is it will protect the flock. If you're free ranging, have a rooster. It's just hands down. It's about 1 to 10 you need. We are a lot greater than that. We are probably about 1 to 7. But those roosters are amazing at keeping your flock safe. They will make little tiny noises, whatever. All those hens will know, and they will run. If you're not keeping guineas or any other kind of warning animals, keep a rooster. That is what they're good for. But you always have that possibility that roosters go turn on you one day. So you'll probably go through a lot of roosters. Okay, another thing to think about chickens, and you're going to keep them if you're free ranging. If you're not, please skip ahead. You can see the pasture behind me. The donkey's probably behind me. Maybe a sheep. Helen's not feeling well. You see all those videos on YouTube. You see all the guys all fired up and they show you the cow patties and they show you this and that. Where are they? They're not out there. The only way you're going to get chickens out there scratching around and moving the cow pies is by you putting them out there within poultry netting and pasturing them on pasture. Is it free ranging? Yes, it is, but it's within the net. But pasture raised poultry is the only way you really go do it, and pasture raised egg layers. But if you're just letting free range like we do, they don't really go out there. I have one out there right now, along with some guineas. There's my one lone chicken out there, Lone Ranger. But actually, I will eat my words. There's another one over there. There's one little white speck over there. That's another chain. Those are the only two out there. Then you have guineas. I know, my pig pen isn't looking that good. Really, goats? It isn't looking that good. I need to get wood chips. I have no chip drop coming with wood chips so far this year. But if you give a pig a party kind of moment, that fencing, smaller chickens, free ranging, will hop through that fence. And sooner or later you have a pig named Pig Killer that will eat that said chicken. So you will lose some. So it's kind of a downfall to a pig that has the taste for chicken, but also a downfall to free range. Now, how many birds have I lost to the pigs? I don't know, but at least 5. That's my fault. And then why should I tell you? I shouldn't. I'm not going to. Just forget this part. Why am I standing near my hay bales? Well, free-ranging chickens, they love hay bales. They're usually hiding in between them. They could be, excuse me. Why hay bales? Chickens love hay bales. They can hide in between them. They like to get on top of them and tear them apart. They're just that way. For some reason, our chickens like to be in hay bales. They're not right now, but I do know that some of the Bantam chickens do kind of hang out in between there, and they'll stay there for hours. But they also get broody, and they will lay a nest in there. So yeah, they can lay a nest in there and whatever, you know, and it leaves them open to predators like such as snakes and whatever, especially if they're small bantams. But around here we got like black snakes is probably about the biggest thing, and they're really not even going to take down a bantam. They can kill it, that's for sure, but they really can't swallow it. Let's go on to one other thing. Remember I talked about having enough nesting boxes. This is the reason why. I have 3 broody hens, 1 nesting box. Now this black sex link has been sitting for about 2 weeks. Spike just did. And then this barred rock is starting to sit. So those guys are all sitting on probably about 30 eggs right now. All right, so out of that batch, we'll probably get 5 or 6 chickens out of all those eggs. But the problem is now you have 3 moms and broody on thing. Then they fight over whose is whose. Then if something goes wrong, they all tend to skedaddle. Then you have baby chickens that have no broody mother to cuddle up to and stay warm, or they have no one to teach them what to do. But usually with baby chickens, if it's warm enough and outside, they survive just fine. You don't need them under a brooder light. Usually some chicken will take care of them. All right, so what else do we got to take in consideration? Let's say that you're buying them from a store and you're going to brood them. Right now I don't have a brooder set up, but I can tell you what we use. We use a 75-gallon stock tank. We buy the, I can't remember product, but it's like recycled plastic, rubber, and we use that, and we buy one of the dome lights. Now there's many dome lights available, and people will talk about safety and can they start things on Can they start stuff on fire? Abso-freaking-lutely. We still have a chicken coop, but we had a light get knocked down, and it made some straw smolder, and how we didn't get a fire, I don't know. Some would say we're very lucky or graced with something. But so what you gotta do is just find something that you can use and find a way to attach your light to make sure it doesn't get knocked down or whatever and into your chickens and start a fire. One thing that we do is we actually have a small chain or rope that is very sturdy hanging from a rafter, and we use a carabiner onto the metal hook of the back of the ceramic light. And that metal carabiner is pretty strong, and it keeps that light from falling in along with the rope. What you can also do is go to Premier One, and they have a light that's really nicely built. It's pretty big, it's bulky, but it's supposed to have all types of safety features. So that's one way you could do it. But you know, you go to any Tractor Supply, big box store, Big R, Rural King, anything like that, they'll have all the supplies to get you started. A lot of those supplies will help you later on, but some will not. But it all depends on what you do. But the little feeders, the little waters, they're great for a brooder. Get them. You know, you can use them again later on if you have a sick bird and you need to quarantine. You can pull that stuff out and use it again for a separate little quarantine area so it has fresh water and fresh food. Also, you can put, you know, if it's on antibiotics or whatever in the water, such and such, go on from there. But what else can we think about on this? One thing I can think about is if you have younger kids. If you have a rooster, you have younger kids, you're gonna have to explain it. It's just plain and simple. Because sooner or later, that rooster is going to jump on that hen. And it's just one of those things. And when spring and summer come around, those roosters are pretty busy. I know for a fact that I can come home from work and catch my rooster at least a dozen times. In fact, right now. He just saw a hen sitting there with her rear end up. He came over, it's done. And that's the thing, it's done very quick. A rooster does not have a man part, so to say. It's all internal. Female has the vent, the male has the vent. Essentially, they put vent to vent, and it goes that way. Now, if you do have a female and you see the rooster do what it does, and then you see liquid come out, that means that hen has rejected it. The hen can reject 80% of the male. Now, also, the rumors are that they can hold on to working sperm for about 20 days. One of those things too to also think about if you're free ranging is your streets. We have a street, chickens tend to find their way there. If you can keep them farther back, that's the best. They tend not to find their way there. We're kind of rural country. There's a cornfield across the street. When they bring in that cornfield, guess where my chickens go? I can leave them locked up, but I'm not going to do that because A, I don't like doing that, and I have free range chickens for a reason. But that's something to think about too. So if I could house my chickens, you know, all the way at the back of the pasture, they would never come up to that road. And that would be great. But at the same time too, when you wake up in the morning, do you really want to walk that far to get your eggs? You know, if you didn't collect your eggs last night, or you have chickens that lay early. And that's another thing to think about is when you do build your chicken coop to your homestead, your farm, whatever, your backyard, where to put it into the location to your door, to your breakfast table. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it for today. If I missed something, I'm sure I did. Please leave a comment below. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe.